Some video game openings just stick with you. You can forget half the story, half the characters, maybe even how the game actually ends, but years and years later, you still remember those first few minutes, that opening menu music, the beginning of the adventure. Hi, I'm Vadd, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite video game openings, why I think it works so well, and what makes a great intro in the first place. Hey, real quick at the start, this is an easy background listening video. I'm not going to show cutscenes from all the openings I'm going to mention. Please don't feel glued to your screen like you can't look away, you're going to miss everything. We're talking about things here. Put it on, listen, enjoy. I think a game with a really strong opening that's really memorable is Persona 5. This one opens up in a big casino heist, and then as you work your way through this casino heist, all of a sudden you're thrown backwards in time. It's a style overload in the best possible way. It really sets up the tone, the vibe, the energy, the expectations for the entire adventure, and it's just memorable the way it moves around right from the start. There's something very flashy and stylish about it that it's hard to forget once you've played it one time. Another opening of a journey that really sticks with me is actually Grand Theft Auto 5. Right at the very opening moments, you are robbing a bank. You are immediately in the action. You're about to plant a bomb. The cops are on the way. There's hostages. You're throwing money in bags. You're about to have a big shootout. You're about to have a high-speed chase. There's going to be a train. There's going to be a sniper. It's like the opening 5 minutes, and it's completely off the rails action the entire way. And at the same time, it's a really subtle tutorial to get you to move around, get you to operate inside the world. The GTA 5, that Grand Theft Auto 5 opening robbery is so memorable. And I can't imagine a better way to present the world. I think there's really something special about saying, hey, this is GTA 5, and just throwing you right into the action, right at the opening 00 seconds, 00 minutes, you are in it. I think in the discussion around Cyberpunk 2077, we really forget just how incredibly well the fantasy of Livian's Night City is sold. Right in that starting montage, right as you just get into things, your character lives an entire life in this montage with Jackie. And there's something about that montage when you go back for your second run that kind of flashes through you that really hits hard. The first time watching it, I kind of was like, invested, but not that invested. But that second time I went back through it, I wasn't sitting there going, wow, this is, maybe mechanically one of the best games ever. No, we're not saying that. We're not saying that. But that second time through my trip of Night City, there's something about watching that Jackie montage and seeing the life that was lived in there that really sold me on the fantasy and the world they wanted us to inhabit. I think another all-timer opening starts something like this.
Finally awake.
That's right. The iconic prison cart scene in Skyrim is almost impossible not to include for me here. There's something slow here, there's something atmospheric here, and there's something that instantly establishes the world. There's something about this whole just opening moments here that I think is culturally immortal. It's an experience that every player is going to go through. It's an experience that's going to force you to be introduced to the world of Skyrim in a way that's not fast-paced. It's not a montage like Cyberpunk. It's not a big bank robbery heist shootout like GTA 5. It's not flashy and stylish and fun like Persona 5, but there's definitely something about Skyrim and that prison cart that presents this slow atmosphere that just presents the world as it is. And I think All of these opening moments here set such a good expectation for the game ahead. I think they're all memorable, and I don't think these are the only ones out there. Before I get too far into this, I want to hear yours too. What game has your favorite opening? Maybe it's the menu music, maybe it's just the opening cinematic, maybe it's the first, 15, 30 minutes of the game. What made it stick with you? For me, Grand Theft Auto 5 is at its best when you are in the middle of that heist, when you're doing the robbery and the cops are on the way, the alarm is going off and things are going wrong. For me, Cyberpunk 2077 is at its best when it is selling you the fantasy of Night City. For me, Skyrim is at its best when you are in the atmosphere of the world, when you are taking your time and moving slow. I didn't want to go overboard on this list to make it like, here's like the 50 best intros of all time. I mean, that's just kind of exhausting. But some honorable mentions I almost kind of included right at the start was, how about God of War? There's that opening moment where you're cutting down a tree and all of a sudden it's a funeral. It really sets a tone. Or Red Dead Redemption 2. There's this snow opening that's just slow. It is so slow, but it does a good job of introducing the tone, the characters, and the world you're going to move through. I mean, it's really quite excellent. I think a lot of video games nail that opening segment. And I haven't even talked about Final Fantasy. I mean, that could be in a whole, 3 hours all by itself. How many Final Fantasy games open up with something incredibly strong and memorable? I'm sure someone's going to sit here and go, how could you not mention Doom 2016? You're chained to a slab. There's demons, explosions, the shotgun. Listen. You and I both know video games have so many good openings. I want to talk about them in the comments. I want to hear what ones are your favorite and why. I think for me, a lot of the times it's the ones that establish the world. It's the ones that make me a little bit curious about what I'm getting into. It's the ones that don't feel like a tutorial. It's the ones that establish tone. It's the openings that have moments that I look back and I go, that's kind of iconic, that prison scene in the cart. And there are moments that I remember years later because they remind me of the whole journey I took afterwards. You might have noticed that in all of those openings I started out mentioning, right? Persona 5, Grand Theft Auto 5, Elder Scrolls 5. Maybe there's a theme. Cyberpunk 2077 kind of breaks the theme, but all of them have a grand adventure, a big world that opening is just the barest of tastes, the hintest of whiffs. You don't even know what you're getting into when you're in that opening, but you can look back at those moments and go, that felt right, and everything unfolded in a beautiful way, and it's just memorable that you remember it years and years later. There's something about the magic even today, no matter what the game is. I'm at the main menu and I can't click load game. The only button I can push is new game, and I load it in. And there's a moment, no matter what game it is, what genre it is, I'm on the edge of my seat going, this is going to be good. I always believe that. If you've ever played Uncharted 2, right at the start, you're hanging from a train and all of a sudden you have to know what happened here. How did you get here? What are you going to do next? It just immediately throws you in the action. It's a fun one. It's a memorable one. Maybe not my favorite one, maybe not my most nostalgic one, but it's definitely a strong opening. How about Fallout New Vegas? If you've never played it, right at the start, you are shot, buried, and dug up, and then you get to the character creator. There's something about that sequence that really makes you go, what have I just gotten myself into? What is this world, and how do I survive? If you're not familiar with Batman Arkham City, there's another classic. You're Bruce Wayne, you're arrested, there's a prison riot, all of a sudden you're in your suit, and things just escalate at a constant pace. I don't want to spoil too many games in this list. I know a lot of these I'm mentioning are not recent games from this year or even last year, but I think a lot of these are best seen first, your first time. Who could forget Metal Gear Solid 5, right? Another 5 game on my list here. But, you have this hospital sequence that goes completely insane, and it might kind of be the perfect opening. We can debate that another time, but there's something about that one that if you're a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, it's an all-timer. It's just an all-timer. You're going to love that one. Or Ghost of Tsushima, right? You have the battle, the escape, the ride through the field, the title card rolls in at this phenomenal moment as the open world unfolds. So many games really know how to show you, hey, this is going to be something special. For me, there's a lot of video game intros I'll probably never forget, not just because they were memorable, but because they were the opening taste of the full chapter, the full journey, the full adventure that I probably loved even more. And I think the best games not only nail that opening, but they stick with us. If you like this video, click like. Thanks for hanging out. I'm Vadd. I'll see you in the next one. Let's talk about all things memorable openings. Maybe it's nostalgia. Maybe it's just brilliant. Maybe it was kind of annoying, but you loved it. Let's talk about it in the comments. I'll see you there.